Hello everybody, welcome to this verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy and today's class is part of my series called Around the World in 80 Days, where we basically travel around the world in a virtual sense and improve our reading and pronunciation and learn some vocabulary by looking at some different places that are interesting in some parts of the world that we may not normally go to or perhaps know about, and some of the bigger countries as well. So if you're interested in today's topic, which is Borneo and a tribe that is trying to save the rainforests in Borneo, then come along and join us. If you have booked a slot in this class, then now's the time to come in. So before we get started, and or to keep your progress going a little bit with some fun distractions on an English-related topic. And this also works if you're learning other languages with verbing too, so don't forget to check out the Facebook pages of all the teachers that you like. The second link that I'm pasting is my verbling teacher page, and this is where you need to go if you want to find out more about a particular teacher, or if you'd like to book a session with them or attend one of their classes, or simply just find out when their classes are, or maybe even ask us a question. Go to our teacher page and you can send us a message using the verbling messaging feature, which is awesome. So those two pages are really, really handy, and don't forget to check those out when you have them. Today's class is going to be focused on reading practice, pronunciation, and also hopefully expand of vocabulary. Try to say hello to all of our students and see how everybody is. So first of all, I'm going to say hello to Jose Luis. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Amy. I can listen to you properly because I hear some cuts in the sound. Is possible? I don't know if the problem is on my computer or in yours.
No, for me it's the same. No, for me it's the same. I couldn't hear you clearly too.
Okay.
Properly. I'm so sorry, Jose Luis. I don't know why. My connection is supposedly perfect. Haha. All right, I will keep going and we'll just hope that it improves. If not, I'll take some measures in a few minutes, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
How are you, Jose? I don't think I've actually... Are you there, Khaled? No, you
Yes,
can't hear me?
yes, I'm with you. Sorry because I was late.
Oh, no problem. Wait, I seem to be having some kind of sound issue.
It is ech. K-H.
So
Ech.
it's not... Sorry?
K and H pronounced as ech.
No? Alright, guys, I'm very sorry about this. I'm going to just leave you and come back in and see if that helps, okay? So I will be right back. Just please bear with me. Right, I'm now back again. Hopefully this is going to work. Alright, let me say hello to Dania. Can you hear me now?
Hello to me?
Can you hear me okay, Ksenia? Or is
No, the same problem.
it still
Maybe
bad today?
yes, maybe you should turn off your video and maybe it will be better.
No? Oh, well, this is very fun to have a
We
great
can't
start to
hear
a
you.
lesson. You can't hear me at all?
I think it's better.
Alright, I'm going to carry on. If it's still really bad, I will try and direct you to the article that we're going to be reading today, and then I'll restart my computer again and see if that's some kind of issue with my computer. I just want to say hello to everyone. I'm very sorry, guys, for all these issues. I'm not sure what the actual problem is. So, hello, Philip. Welcome to class.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. Well, I was better before the problems started happening, to be honest. But, you
Yeah,
know,
teacher.
overall, I'm not too bad. How are you, Philip?
No, I'm fine. I'm very fine. All is okay.
You're very fine. I love it. Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name. I think it's maybe Khaled. My Arabic is non-existent, so I'm sorry about that, Khaled. I'll do my best. Okay.
No problem, no problem, teacher.
Okay. And who else do we have? Raphael. Long time no see. How are you?
Hi, teacher Amy. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And you?
Good. How's life in Brazil? Are you still over there?
Actually, no. I'm in Uruguay right now. I am traveling for work, and my schedule has been very busy lately, and lots of things to do. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join your class because there are problems with the schedule. Our schedules aren't matching, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But and how are you? As I can see, the winter has arrived in New Zealand.
I'm wearing my scarf. Winter. But it's okay, actually. The summer was so good that I don't care. And I don't mind the change of weather, because it's nice to have a change, I think. And it never gets too cold where I live anyway, so it's lovely to see you.
You too.
All right, who else has just arrived? I think it's Luca. Hello, Luca.
Hi, teacher. I have some problem with my connection, sorry, and sometimes I can't hear you.
I think it's actually my connection, Luca. I've been struggling with it since the beginning of class today, and I apologize for that. So don't panic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share today the link to the article we're going to read today. So I've pasted it there into the Verbling chat. I'm now pasting it into the Google chat, so you should be able to see it. If you guys could click on that link and just have take a quick look at what we're going to be reading. I'm going to disappear, shut down my computer, and I'll be back as soon as possible, hopefully with a better connection. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Just take a look at the article. I'll be right back. Right. Hi, everybody. I've done all I can do. I'm hoping it's going to improve. And we're going to start reading. So I'm going to share my screen and have a look at this really interesting article. Actually, I watched a TV program last night, which is very interesting. It was David Attenborough talking to, I guess, the president of the USA, Barack Obama, and one of the things that came up in the program was this, and I thought, how interesting, because I'm doing a class on this tomorrow. So they showed a couple of clips of the tribe that is looking to try and protect some of the wildlife from the deforestation that's taking place in Borneo, and they showed some very cute orangutans. So we're going to see if that's relevant in what we read today. As if you haven't been to one of my reading classes before, then the general idea is just to take your time. We'll give you a section to read and do your best. Don't rush through it. Once we get to the end of your section, we will check your vocabulary and your pronunciation and make sure everybody understands before we carry on. So you can see there's a nice picture of some local people who live in Borneo. I'm going to get the lovely Jose. If you could read this little caption at the beginning, please, for us.
Yes, of course. Once the nomadic hunter-gatherers of Borneo, the Penang, are now eco-warriors fighting to protect their jungle home.
Awesome. Thank you. Beautiful reading. Just before we carry on, has anybody here been to Borneo? Or Indonesia? No? So we're all out in that case. No experts in class. We'll have to find out what we need to know from the article. All right, so Jose, could you continue, please, with the rainforest?
The rainforest was talking its toll. With humidity hovering around 100%, I was trying to keep up with our fleet-footed guide as I played the jungle version of Guacamole, flicking lecherous leeches of my rubber shoes with a salt-tipped stick. A stream of sweat poured off my chin to the damp forest floor below. Our guide, Sian Negdao, and I waited for my two trekking companions who, unaccustomed to the humidity, were bringing up the rear. Pelé, a heavily bearded Swedish man who looked like a giant, had been intermittently freaking out over anything to do with sweat and bugs, while his girlfriend, Lisa, calmed him down with her serene demeanor.
Thank you, Louise. Great reading. Well done. And you had some tricky words to start us off there, so let's just go through a couple of them. I'll say them for you, and I'd like you to just repeat them. So this one here is flicking. Flicking.
Ah, flicking.
Yep.
Flicking.
And this one is salt tipped. Tipped.
Tips.
Yep.
Tip.
Well done.
Tip.
We've got bearded in the second paragraph. A bearded Swedish man.
Bearded Swedish man. Bearded.
That's better. Well done. This one is sweat.
Sweat.
Not sweet. It's salty.
Sorry.
Okay. Sweat. Yep. No
Sweat.
problem. And last one is serene demeanor. Serene demeanor.
Serene demeanor.
Beautiful. Well done. Thank you, Louise. Oh,
You're
right.
welcome.
Any questions from anybody? There's quite a few different little idioms and some crazy vocab here. So does anyone want to ask any questions?
What mean Lycarus?
Let me see if I can find this one. This one here, leeches. Is that the one you're
Yes.
referring to? Yeah.
The first one, the before. Lycarus.
Lecherous.
Lecherous.
Does anyone know what lecherous means?
Disgusting could be. Could be.
Yes. Yes, exactly. It is pretty much like disgusting. Or if you think about the bug, which is the leech, it sucks your blood. And lecherous is usually used in a sexual context, which means that if somebody looks at you in a lecherous way, they're kind of thinking about sex when they look at you. So it's a bit of an unusual way to describe leeches. I think just because they're kind of sucking something out of you is a very strong adjective, but it gives you a great idea of how these leeches are trying to kind of cling on and you have to get them off, which sounds terrible to me. Oh, I hate bugs. Okay, good question. Any other questions?
Teacher, I have some vocabularies that I don't understand them. I
Sure.
don't know the meaning of them.
Mm-hmm.
Flicking in front of the word lectures that you speak.
Okay.
This one, and then have this the first word in the fourth line.
Leeches.
Leeches also.
All right, I think the easiest thing to do is to just go to Google and
Yes.
find a leech for you, because maybe you will actually know what this is. I don't want image, I want leech. Okay, this is a leech. It's like
Yeah.
a little bug that sucks your blood, basically,
Yes. Yes.
that you find in the rainforest. You recognize that?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
All right, now to flick. Can anyone explain what to flick means? Anyone like to have a go?
It's some noise which we can do with our finger.
Yes.
But flicking creatures, I don't know why they're flicking. I think they're
okay.
silence.
Ksenia, I think you're getting... Yes, I know what you mean. You mean this, right?
Yes.
That's actually not usually called clicking. It's not usually called flicking. It's usually called clicking. Clicking your fingers. That's the one that makes the sound. Or you can say maybe snap your fingers. But to flick means to move very quickly something. I'm going to just remove I'm going to do this. This is flicking, okay?
Flicking.
Doing that. So you're getting the flick, you're kind of trying to flick off the leech. Ooh. Okay, we'll go back to the article now. Good questions. Anyone else have a question?
The first one, it's taking its toll.
Ah, okay. What does it mean if something takes its toll? This is a great idiom. Anyone know?
I know, but it's difficult to explain. Taking its toll, so it's became smaller and smaller. Something
Become
like that.
smaller and smaller? No, not actually what I would say, Ksenia.
It's like to pay a debt or something like this.
Yes, it's okay, that's much closer. If you pay a toll on something, it means you have to pay a fee to use that service. So usually it's to do with bridges or roads. You have to pay a fee to pass over the bridge or to use the road. So it's almost as if this thing is claiming its pay back or claiming its dues for something off you. And it basically means that it's having a big effect on you. If the rainforest takes its toll, it means you're struggling a little bit with what's happening. Okay? Okay, so let's continue reading, and it is now, we'll skip down after the picture, don't forget to have a look at the pictures. It's Khaled's turn from We Hadn't.
We hadn't even reached our lunch spot, and I could tell that Nyaru have given up on us attaining our goal for the day. The man cannot walk, he said somberly. As we waited for Polly to finish his third liter liter of water, the third liter of water, moaning, "We will not make it to the village today. We will sleep in the forest." Continue or stop?
Continue, please.
We were on a 5-day trek with community tourism program, Borneo Pinan Adventure, and Borneo Upper Param region, in Sarawak State. It is one of the few areas of primary rainforest remaining on an island that was once fully uh, carpeted. It is also uh, home to one of Borneo's many tribes, the Binan. I don't know understanding.
All right, well done, Khaled. That was really good, and you managed to self-correct quite a few of the words, so you ended up pronouncing them correctly. Well done. Just a couple I want to go over. Okay, so the first one is this one here, reached.
Reached, one syllable.
Yes, one syllable, exact. This is pronounced somberly, somberly. Can you repeat that one? Somberly? I think he's disappeared. Are you still there, Khaled? Can the rest of you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's just a problem with Khaled's hearing. Okay, don't worry, Khaled. I'm not sure what's happening there. Maybe you got some kind of sudden connection issue. All right, the last one I was going to say is liter. A liter of water.
Liter of what? Sorry, I cannot. There is some connection problems. Therefore,
right.
I'm sorry. I apologize for it.
No
Now,
problem.
liter.
Yep, Lisa, this one here was somberly, somberly.
Somberly.
Okay, if I type the word for you in the chat box just so that you can see how where it comes from, that word there is somber. So I know it looks like sombrely, but actually it's somberly, okay? Does anyone know what somberly means?
Somberly.
That's right. What does somber mean, or what does somberly mean?
In a strict way, or to be in good manner?
Not exactly, actually, Khaled. It's more like in a very serious way, in a very serious, even sad.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot explain it. I'm sorry.
All right, it is difficult to explain vocab, especially in another language. But great try, well done. Okay, we're going to carry on reading, and there's another lovely picture. And it's Ksenia's turn. From historically, please, Ksenia.
Historically, the Penan people were Borneos, nomadic hunter-gatherers, moving into areas with plentiful food sources such as sago palm and wild boar. Today, only a handful of the 10,000 to 12,000 remaining Penan are generally nomadic, with the majority living in villages. Logging companies, palm oil plantations, hydroelectric dam projects and government corruption have all played a role in decimating the Penan's forest home, with the deforestation of Sarawak's primary growth estimated to be close to 90%. With the loss of their land, the Penan fear they will lose their independence. Borneo Penan Adventure offers several itineraries aimed at combating this destruction through sharing the tribe's way of life.
Great, thank you, Ksenia. Just a couple of words. That was really beautifully read. We pronounce the country in English Borneo, okay? Borneo.
Borneo.
Yeah. And this one is combating. Combating.
Combating.
Yep, from the verb to combat. All right, any questions?
What about nomadic?
Nomadic, very important word actually in this little section. Anyone like to explain nomadic?
Who goes from one place to other.
Beautifully described, thank you. It means that you don't stay in one place, that you keep moving all the time, you don't live in one particular area. Any other questions?
Hunter-gatherers.
Hunter-gatherers. Okay, a hunter-gatherer is sort of described by the two words hunter and gatherer. So does anyone know what a hunter-gatherer is referring to?
Yes, it's live by hunting, kill animal, and gathering, pick up some berries, fruits.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ksenia. So it means like some of your tribe hunt animals to eat for meat, and other members of your tribe gather things, which basically, as Ksenia said, means to pick things up from bushes or plants or whatever, to provide the remaining part of your diet. Any other questions? No? Oh, right, in that case, I'm going to ask Jose. Jose, could you just give us, in your own words, a little bit of an introduction? What have we read so far about this place? What's happening there?
What is the problem with this place?
Yes.
But I think that the greedy companies are devastating all the nature that there are in these places, because the rainforest is being devastated by logging companies.
Logging
companies.
Yep,
And these people is losing the environment.
Correct. That's absolutely right. Well done, Jose. Just another pronunciation for the word nature. Nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
Nature.
Beautiful. All right, so let's carry on. We've got this little group of people attempting to visit one of the villages, and I'm interested to see what happens next. So welcome, Anna. Don't worry about being late. We'll come round to you shortly. Luca, your turn to read from our group.
Yes. Our group was traveling through a handful of the 17 villages in Upper Barham's Penan Peace Park, a 163,000 hectare area established in the 2009 to protect the local rainforest from the large scale logging. Many younger generations, including some of Dao's own children have had to leave the area to find work in nearby cities or at logging camps. But the Peace Park and the Borneo Penang Adventure excursions are giving them a new option to stay. Now they can be involved in gilding, selling handicrafts, boat driving, and working as porters.
Thank you. One lovely reading. Just a couple of words. This one here is established. Established.
Established.
Yes. And this one is guiding.
Guiding.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Luca. Any questions from anybody? No questions? All right. Ksenia.
Excursions.
Yes, you do. Sorry, Khaled. What was that?
The third line from the bottom of the page.
Excursions.
Yes.
Good one. Anyone like to explain what excursions means?
Excursion is a kind of trip by the forest.
Yeah, exactly. So an excursion is like a little trip, usually a day trip, something you go out and do, go out and see, you know, the special waterfall or something like that, okay? So Khaled, could you explain to us why many of the younger generations have had to leave and what's happening about that now? What's changing?
Because of this big company take a big area of the forest, therefore they have to move to the cities to work or to work as boat driving and working as porters and selling handkerchiefs and like this to make their life.
Okay, yes, almost. That's almost correct. You're right about the first part, but the second part, where we're talking about the different jobs that are mentioned, actually,
Yes.
These are not what the younger generations are doing in the cities, but they're actually options that are given to them for staying. So instead of just living their traditional tribal lifestyle, they can do things like guiding tourists or selling handicrafts to stay in their local area rather than moving. So it sort of tells you a bit about everything in that one paragraph. But thank you, Khaled.
Thank you, teacher.
There's a picture of one of the villages, and then we'll carry on. So it is now Philip's turn to read from But Government. Are you there, Philip?
Yes, I am.
Could you read for us, please, from But Government?
But government recognition of the park, which will ensure its protection, has been an elusive goal. Gedao, one of the key players in the fight to save the Upper Barams rainforest, traveled to Sarawak's capital, coaching in 2012 to pledge the Penang schools. I asked the government to don't cut our trees, not just for Penang but for Malaysia, for people around the world, he said. When the forest is protected, it gives life for everyone around the world, even for all of us. But despite Gidawo's play, Penang Peace Park has not been granted official government protection. I think they don't care about what I say. They will say, we need to protect the forest. This area has belonged to the Penang for hundreds of years.
Great, thanks, Philip. Just one word here, and that is plea.
Plea.
Yes, well done. See, that's this is the same. This is coming from the same. This is to plead. Okay, this is the verb, and plea is the noun.
And what mean plead?
Good question. What does plead mean? What does plead mean?
That means to support his case at the court.
Yes, that's true. So this is a little bit of a tricky word, actually. You're right, Philip. A plea in court is something quite, well, it's related, but it's not exactly the same as pleading in this sort of general sense. So does anyone want to explain a little bit further?
May I?
Yes, Anna, go ahead.
To plead means to say whether you are guilty or no.
Yep, that's right.
That's it. Is it, teacher?
Yeah, it's right, but I'm just going to explain, I'm just going to expand a little bit just to make it very clear. So if you're in court and you're being accused of something, then you will have to plead for either guilt or innocence. And the judge at some point will ask you, what do you plead, or what is your plea? Guilty or innocent? And then after you've said, you know, I'm guilty, then it needs to be proven or innocent, either way. That's a particular use of the word, but in a general sense, does anyone know what this means or can figure it out? No? In a general sense, it means very similar to beg. To really, really, really ask someone, please, 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 don't do this or do this. I'm begging you, okay? It's a very strong version of ask. Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you very much, Philip. We're on to Raphael. And there's a boat picture, and we'll carry on under here from Still Experts.
Still experts in the rainforest terrain, Ngedao and his crew of guides and porters spent a 5-day trek zipping through the jungle while they fumbled over root mazes and clawed their way up muddy slopes. There were no groomed trails or signposts. Penan have their own method of leaving clues for other villagers. The placing of a rock or a machete cut on a branch tells an entire story. Should I go on?
Yes, please.
As Ngedao and I waited for Pele, I peeled my eyes off my leech-covered shoes and took in my surroundings. Streaks of sun permitted the cracks in the dense canopy. I felt as if I had been swallowed whole. How long will it take us to get to the village? I asked. Penan can do it for hours. For us, maybe 6, he concluded.
Thank you, Raphael. Lovely reading. This word here is the only word that you mispronounced, and it's machete. A machete.
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 Yes. Do you guys know what a machete is? Anyone care to explain?
It's a kind of knife.
Yeah. A very big knife.
Yes.
All right, one for cutting jungle, or hopefully just cutting jungle and nothing else. All right, well done. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
What mean fumbled?
Fumbled. To fumble.
Fumbled.
Anyone know
Fumbled.
what fumble means? This is a bit of a tricky one to explain. Yep, sorry, Anna.
Fail?
No, it's not exactly fail, although it's not far off. To fumble means to do something awkwardly, to do it in a not very smooth way. So if you fumble with your bag, it means you can't, you're not just picking something out of your bag. You're opening your bag and you're struggling around inside and you keep dropping it, and then you can't open the zip, and you're not really doing it in a very smooth way. It's awkward, something awkward about it. So obviously, because these people are not natives of this area, they're struggling to traverse the terrain. They're kind of tripping over things and grabbing onto things and not smoothly moving forward. Any other questions? I think, Anna, you had one.
Yes, I don't know. Canopy. Canopy. I don't know
Canopy.
how to pronounce. Canopy.
All right, canopy is a very rainforest-specific word in this particular article. Does anybody know what it's referring to?
Yes, it's a cover.
Yep, exactly. In what particular sense?
Because the branches and leaves of the trees are too dense.
Yep, absolutely. Great explanation, Louise. So the canopy is referring to the layer of rainforest which is at about the height of the leaves of the trees. It's not the ground, and then you've got to go up past the branches and like lichen and vines and things until you get to the big thick layer of green leaves. That's called the canopy, and it mostly blocks out the sun, I've heard. All right, so let's carry on. You can see a logging truck there, and Anna, your turn to read from the previous day.
Okay, the previous day. How can I say the name?
Well, I don't know because I'm not from Borneo either. We've all sort of done our own version, so go for whatever you like, Anna.
The previous day, Nidal had collected from the landing strippers in the upper barren village of Long Lilang. The fly had passed over thick tracts of forest interspersed with evenly cut stretches of palm oil plantations and loading roads, a reminder of the ever-encroaching threats to the Benon's native home. He had announced himself as our guide, flashing an empty space vacated long ago by his upper front teeth. Wearing a red jersey, blue shorts, knee-high socks, and a mudded pair of rainforest red rubber shoes. Nidal quickly sized up our bulging backpacks and the 20 kilograms of food and water we had shipped. We would need at least 4 boarders to make the journey.
Great, thank you, Anna. Let's go through a couple of words here. This is not lodging, but logging. Logging.
Thank you. Logging.
Yep. Lodging is with a D. L-O-D-G, and that's something totally different. Accommodation, right? Logging is to do with cutting down trees. This one here is pronounced threats.
Threats.
Yeah. And the last one was vacated. Vacated.
Vacated.
Yep, just like vacation. Same pronunciation. Okay. Any questions?
A bunch. Sorry. Interspersed.
Interspersed. Interspersed.
Oh my gosh, interspersed.
Yes. Does anyone know what interspersed means?
It could be alternate or mix it.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. This sort of means mixed alternated, great word choices, dotted about perhaps. So what it means is that there are thick parts of the forest, and then every now and again there are evenly cut stretches of palm oil plantations and logging roads. So the forest is not continuous. Every so often you come across a palm oil plantation. That's basically what it's saying. Let's just pause for a second and talk about this, because this is something that obviously is not just happening in Borneo. It may be even happening in one of the countries represented by you right now. What do you think about this problem that we have of economic incentives due to logging and palm oil and various other things, meaning that we have such, I don't know, severe deforestation? What is your reaction? Anyone like to comment? No?
This is happening everywhere. It's not only in Malaysia or Indonesia. It's happening all around the world. These greedy companies, they are trying to expand their own business. They are not worried with the environment. So they literally invade. They literally break into these communities and change everything there and change their people. They don't even have opportunity to grow, to stay at these communities. They have to adapt themselves to their business. Otherwise, they will have to move out. So this is changing everywhere.
All right, thanks, Raphael. So this is obviously happening in Brazil as well, because we all know about it. How do you guys feel personally? So Raphael's mentioned that this is just an issue that's occurring in lots of places all around the world. For those of us who live in countries where there is no rainforest, how do we feel about it?
Sarah said.
Can you repeat it again? Can you repeat it again, teacher?
Repeat the question, yeah. So
Yeah.
some of the people in this class, like Raphael, are coming from places which do have rainforest, and this is happening there. What about those of us who live in countries with no rainforest? We just have other issues in our countries, and we see this on the news. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's a problem? Do you worry about it? Do you think about it?
Yes, it must be, teacher. Can I speak?
Yes.
Yes, we feel sorry to hear about such these things that happen around the world, because it's one global war. You know, we are living the same. We live in Earth. Therefore, what's happening there will affect us in a way or another. You know, in addition to it is not belong to the humanity nature. You know, it helps us. It give us some water, pure water, and some oxygen that we need. And sorry to say that, but we destroying the nature. The nature. It is the original mother of us. To fill their bags with money. They are greedy people who controls us, and the government cannot stop them, or they pay for them, government, and we will pay from our health, and will be in the future many problems like a global warm, you know, and this is I speak about melting the ice in the North Pole or in the South Pole. Warming, yes, no global warming. As such,
Yeah.
there is also a hole in the sky. I didn't remember it. What is
A
this?
hole in the
Amazon.
ozone. A hole in the ozone layer.
Yes, ozone layer. Yes, and we have to face what we made by nature.
Yeah. Thank you, Khaled. That's very insightful. And you mentioned that despite the fact that you don't have any rainforest in your country, this affects all of us. Actually, it reminds me of something from the program last night, because David Attenborough, when he first started, if you don't know who he is, he's a very famous BBC nature program presenter, and he's been working for a very long time. I believe he's now in his 90s, or almost in his 90s. When he first started doing his programs, he visited the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, or off the coast of Australia, and then 60 years later he returned and described that things have happened to the reef, and a lot of the coral is dying, and this is just a result of the ocean acidity changing. So this is not to do with Australia, this is to do with the whole planet. So it just shows you how responsible we all are. Does this problem kind of worry you? Do you guys, are you concerned about it? If you are, do you think there's anything that we can do? Do you feel a bit detached? How do you kind of relate to this issue? How about Philip? What do you think, Philip? Are you there, Philip? No? All right, Ksenia, tell us what you think.
I think we all ruin our planet because we all use some dangerous things like antiperspirants, some medicine, plastic bags, and so on, so on. It's very difficult to refuse of these things because we like to live in a comfort, and I think it's very difficult to change their situation, and I think the final will be very bad for us, but not for us, maybe their other generation, maybe our grandsons, and God.
Yep. I think you bring up an excellent point, because a lot of the reasons why the ocean acidity is changing is not a direct, obvious problem, and it's very hard to do anything about it, apart from, as you say, do things like not use plastic bags, which some people are trying to do, but it doesn't seem to be making much of a difference. Anyone else like to comment?
Unfortunately, we are still, I must say, used with our way of living, unfortunately, and sometimes we put these things in the second plane. We try to reduce. We're not thinking in these issues directly, but the consequences of the global warming and of our activities here on Earth harming the nature, it's already being disclosed, and we are already being affected by them, directly or not. The storms are getting worse year after year, and droughts are getting more constant and more frequent. But unfortunately, I believe that mankind has not yet gained their mindset enough to deal with this problem and to understand that we must do something right now prior to anything worse happen in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, Raphael. I agree with you. I think it's almost a case of we're not very good at working together. If you look at our planet right now, I think there's enough war to, watch TV all day and only see war. But in order to solve this problem, which is obviously affecting all of us, but some countries are at the forefront of certain things more than others. However, we're all responsible, but we're not going to be able to solve it unless we can work together, and at the moment it doesn't look like we can. I hope to be a bit more optimistic at the end of this class, because I would love for us to change, and the issues are a lot more complicated than just the environment, I think. But it's definitely interesting, and I think that for those people who are living in places like this, it's confronting them right there. At least they're trying to stand up their lifestyle. This is actually a really interesting article, so I know we haven't had time to read all of it. Please do finish it off. If you would like to, if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to get in touch with me or write me a message on Verb on the Facebook. But apart from that, anyone have any last comments before we finish? No? All right, well, I hope I've made you think this morning. Well done for excellent reading. We've learned a few new words. Hopefully we've improved our English together. I hope to see you all again very soon. Take care and have a really good day or evening or morning wherever you are.
Bye, Amy.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, see you.
Or to keep your progress going a little bit with some fun distractions on an English-related topic. And this also works if you're learning other languages with verbing too, so don't forget to check out the Facebook pages of all the teachers that you like. The second link that I'm pasting is my Verbling teacher page, and this is where you need to go if you want to find out more about a particular teacher, or if you'd like to book a session with them or attend one of their classes, or simply just find out when their classes are, or maybe even ask us a question. Go to our teacher page and you can send us a message using the Verbling messaging feature, which is awesome. So those two pages are really, really handy, and don't forget to check those out when you have them. Today's class is going to be focused on reading practice, pronunciation, and also hopefully expand of vocabulary. Are you there, Khaled? No, you
Yeah,
can't hear me?
yes, I'm with you. Sorry because I was late.
Oh, no problem. Wait, I seem to be having some kind of sound issue.
It is KH.
So
Ech.
it's not. Sorry?
K and H pronounced as Ech.
No? Alright, guys, I'm very sorry about this. I'm going to just leave you and come back in and see if that helps. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Verbling class. My name is Teacher Amy, and today's class is part of my series called Around the World in 80 Days, where we basically travel around the world in a virtual sense and improve our reading and pronunciation and learn some vocabulary by looking at some different places that are interesting in some parts of the world that we may not normally go to or perhaps know about, and some of the bigger countries as well. So if you're interested in today's topic, which is Borneo and a tribe that is trying to save the rainforests in Borneo, then come along and join us. If you have booked a slot in this class, then now's the time to come in. So before we get started, and try to say hello to all of our students and see how everybody is. So first of all, I'm going to say hello to Jose Luis. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Amy. I can listen to you properly because I hear some cuts in the sound. Is possible? I don't know if the problem is in on my computer or in yours.
No, for me it's the same. No, for me it's the same. I couldn't hear you clearly too.
Okay.
Properly. I'm so sorry, Jose Luis. I don't know why. My connection is supposedly perfect. Haha. Alright, I will keep going and we'll just hope that it improves. If not, I'll take some measures in a few minutes, okay?
Okay, thank you.
How about you, Jose? I don't think I've actually helps, okay? So I will be right back. Just please bear with me.